Happy Monday, everybody. I'm not usually live on a Monday, and I'm going to be live twice today, Robin. How are you?
So exciting.
I know. Good thing I'm doing my hair today. That's what I'm thinking about. So, all right. I'm excited I love these makeover days where we look at people's websites and we give suggestions, or you give suggestions, and I just listen and question and get fascinated by the changes that people can make in their website that are going to make a really big difference. So just to get the order of the business done first, if you're watching live on YouTube or on replay, please like and subscribe so you'll get notified of future videos. And I want everyone to welcome with me Robin White. She's a web designer who does amazing work. And you're currently working on at least 2 of my clients' websites in addition to so many others. So what are we going over today, Robin?
So today we are going to look at Slate Interiors about page, and Bridget is the owner and operator of Slate Interiors, and she very kindly volunteered her website for our mini audit. So thank you very much, Bridget. And I'm really hoping that she comes away with some actionable items that she can do today.
Yeah, and if anyone else who's watching live or on replay would like your website eligible for these little mini audits that Robin does, please put them in the comments and we'll get notified of them and we'll let you know if you're chosen to do one of these mini audits. So, all right, so we want to talk about this compelling section. Do you want to go over any general guidelines first, or you want to just dive in?
We can absolutely talk about some general guidelines. So your about page is one of the most important pages on your website, and it's one of the most visited pages of your website as well. So your homepage is definitely number 1. About and services are going to be up there very close as number 2. The know, like, and trust factor is so important. I'm sure we've all heard about that. And the about page is really where you can dive deep into that. So,
one of the things I teach is an exercise called Your Business in Words, which is like an elevator pitch. And I have to tell you, if someone's really lost with their about page, I always say, guess what? Your about page is about you, but it's not really. It's still about them. So you have to approach it from the eyes of what your client is going to want to hear, not what you want to always just tell them. Correct?
Absolutely. I always do like to say that, Nancy. So thank you for bringing that up. It's really more about your ideal client than you. It's about framing your story in a way that shows how you are uniquely equipped to solve their problem. And you just want to show the benefit to them. They're not as concerned or really interested in where you went to college, and they don't want to read your resume. They want to hear your story. You want to pull something from your background that they can relate to, that shows why you are uniquely equipped to do what you do and solve their frustration. You want to make it all about them.
Right, but show what personality traits are within you that they may be attracted to. Genuine personality traits, not made up ones trying to attract who you're trying to attract. Ones that are actually about you, so that when they do come into your world, it's almost like you automatically get along with them if you've done it right with the attraction.
Yes. Yes. Okay. And I also think, because that first interaction is often online, a good way to show your personality on your about page is to have a section that might be, called fun facts or get to know me, something like that. And you can be really creative in what you're sharing there and how it's designed. I mean, it can almost be set up as a Q&A type of section. It can be done somewhat like a mood board with photos and maybe
I like that too.
Little bits of text. So this is a place where you can be very creative and share more personal items that you're comfortable sharing. Like, are you a coffee or a tea drinker? What's your favorite place to travel? This is where you could, mention your family, your pets, things like that. Personal items so people can get to know you on a different level.
I love it. All right, let's take a look at Slate Interiors.
Okay. And I will share my screen so we can bring up that about page.
Okay, Robin's going to share her screen and then I'm going to bring it up. It's not showing yet. It's showing nothing. One more click probably. There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to bring Slate Interiors up on the screen. Then I'm going to make myself disappear. You'll just hear my voice. And I'm going to make you disappear, Robin, and they'll just hear your voice as you go through the audit. Okay.
Wonderful.
Okay. Let's get me hidden and you hidden.
Okay. Wonderful. So I would love to start with the very top section of her website, the header. And let's talk about what she's doing really great here. I love that she's got her logo nice and clear on the left and her menu nice and simple and clear on the right. It's fantastic that she has contact us as a button with a black background, because usually that's the main goal of her website, to have people contact her. So it's highlighted and draws attention to it, which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of things I would mention that she may want to consider changing is work is actually a drop-down menu. And there's only one item in it, and that's commercial. So what might make more sense is to actually just have work with no drop down. And I would almost consider calling it portfolio or gallery or projects instead of work.
Can you click on that and us see that the drop down?
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Right there. And if you click on it, which I'll just do really quickly, it's just one page. So usually drop downs are used when there's more than one page that belong under that main category. So just to make it simpler for users to not have to click more than once, I would just, make that one page there.
Makes sense. And it says also that she is a boutique commercial design studio. So that is all there would be. So the word portfolio is probably definitely more accurate.
Exactly. And the one last little item I would mention that Bridget might want to consider changing is there's a big amount of white space here between the top of the page and this header area. And I would recommend maybe condensing that a little bit so that the top of the page moves up higher.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Let's move to her bio section. And the first thing I want to mention is I love that she has a photo of herself, that she's smiling and she's looking at the camera. You have no idea how many websites I go to where there is not a photo of the principal designer.
I know. It's crazy, right?
It's crazy. And it is so, so important, especially for interior designers, which are generally an in-person service. So it's really important for clients to see an image of you before they contact you and you show up at their home for that initial consultation. And along those lines, you want to make sure that this photo of you is up to date. So when you do show up for that initial consultation, you look somewhat like the photo on your website.
I've seen plenty that don't look anything like, and we all want to keep the picture of when we're younger and skinnier, but you know what? We've got to update them. It's just the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Another really great thing that she's doing here is she's got her name in the information here. And again, I go to a lot of websites where I cannot find the owner's name. So that is a really great thing that she's included. And I highly recommend that everybody else go check out their website and make sure their name is on there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. The fonts are easy to read. They're, a good contrast between the white background and the black font. So that is fantastic. I love that she has included, I'm guessing this is some type of membership that she's a part of or certification that she has. So that is a great thing to include on the About page. She's done a really wonderful job here. Couple of things that I would recommend Bridget consider is there's not an enormous amount of content here. So if SEO is something that is important to her, I would recommend adding a lot more content to the page. Google is really looking for a decent amount of words on each page. And I'm going to say a minimum of 300, and it might even be a bit more than that.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they're really looking for high quality content. They don't see images. So generally, they're not going to index a page that doesn't have a good amount of words on it. So some things that Bridget could consider adding in is what we talked about before, Nancy, framing her story in a
Yes.
way that shows how it actually solves her ideal client's problems, and how what she's gone through in the past makes her uniquely equipped to do what she's doing. She can share a history of her business here. That's something that can go up. If she has team members, their information can go on this page as well. The fun facts section that we talked about before, that's something that she can add in too. So there's lots of different ways that she can beef up the content if she chooses to.
Yeah, I feel like so the exercise I recommend to people who have bio pages like this or about pages like this is a 4 sentence exercise. It's free in my business building boutique, which they can find on the top left of my website. And it basically just says 3 adjectives in their title. So I am a, detail oriented, highly educated, and fun interior designer. Or like that as a first sentence will grab people's attention.
Definitely.
Then, right, it goes on to who they help and how they help them. I won't go through the whole exercise here, but that would grab someone's attention as to how it would feel to work with her, as opposed to, like you say, just her education and what she's done in the past. Like it needs to feel a little bit warmer than that.
Yes, I've done your business in words, Nancy, and it's a fantastic framework. I highly recommend it to people, and it is a great starting off point for your about
Yeah.
page for
The
sure.
starting point, and then you have to add more to it, but at least you're starting off with what the client's going to want to know about you, right? Who you are as a person, who you serve, how you serve them, and the happiness you feel. And then you can go into, like you said, a story or video, talking to the client, your ideal client, or the Q&A. I love that idea. Like
Yeah.
little facts about her would be awesome.
Yeah, it's a fun section to do. And just some design suggestions that I would have if Bridget does decide she wants to add in some more sections is to include more photos. And these don't have to be headshot type photos. They can be more lifestyle photos. So of Bridget in action, maybe styling a bookshelf or a vase of flowers on a dining room table, setting the stage, or looking at paint samples or tile samples, things like that. And adding in some, possible colored backgrounds just to sort of differentiate between the different sections of the page.
Definitely. And as a body language trainer, which I am, we often want to see hands or a trust factor. When we see someone's hands in an image, not crossed in front of them, which is a closed posture, but open and welcoming, like you said, even if she's placing a vase on a table or styling a bookshelf or walking through a kitchen, it's going to let someone see her entire self with her hands showing and smiling and looking at the camera. That could be really helpful to a welcoming feeling.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Although I do love this picture because she's so like happy and smiling.
It's a great photo for sure.
Yeah,
For sure. Something else I would suggest adding to this page is a testimonial or two, and just a short excerpt from a testimonial that speaks directly to what it's like to work with Bridget. I think that adds social proof. Testimonials are fantastic sales pitches that are not in our words. So it's wonderful to have them sprinkled throughout the different pages of your website.
Definitely.
Yep. And
so that'll help you get more words too.
It sure will. It sure will. And finally, I would suggest here adding in a call to action. A call to action, or a CTA, you might have heard it referred to, is essentially what is the action that you want a visitor to your website to take. And you can have more than one call to action, but I suggest having your primary call to action at the bottom of each page of your website. And generally for interior designers, that call to action is to contact them. Fill out their contact form to schedule that initial discovery call. Start the process of getting them to sign on to work with you. So I would add a call to action here. It's really nice to do an image and some words, and then a button that they can click that would take them to her contact page.
Yes, and I like it being, a lot of designers do want to grow an email list. So they'll sometimes grab this free PDF, but I'm with you. It's like,
Mhm.
what does someone want to do when they go to a designer's website? They want to contact the designer usually. So let's make it easy and get that contact us on every page.
Absolutely. And we have to remember that people visiting our website don't necessarily know what it is we want them to do next. So we have to politely guide them to take that action.
Yes, and that's a good rule of thumb. People generally don't know what to do next. You have to tell them, go here, click here, fill it out, and I'll see you on the other side. That's why you hear that all the time on webinars, right? Click the
Absolutely.
link, fill it out, and I'll see you on the other side. Like everyone tells everyone exactly what to do next.
Mhm.
So, and I also would add, Robin, that I love the edge in women's business enterprise, but I still am like, what is that? Like happy member of
Mhm.
would kind of complete the circle for me.
Yes, giving that section a headline, so people know what the section is, and that can be certifications, memberships, things like that. And also, you can potentially make that link, make it a clickable link. So,
Good idea.
if you wanted to click off to that website, outbound links are also good for SEO if they're relevant. So that's something to think about too.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay. I love it. Anything else you want to point out before I bring us back up on stage?
I would just love to talk about the footer section of this
Okay.
page really quickly. I love that she has her location listed here. That's wonderful for local SEO. But a suggestion that I have would be to add in her service area as well.
Oh, yes.
Just so people know, and this is good for local SEO too, you can list out the different towns that you service or counties or areas, depending on, every location has their own sort of lingo that they use. So I
Okay.
would definitely recommend doing that. But I love that she has her location, she has her email, she has her phone number, and she has her links to social media. And I love that they're in the footer because that's where they belong, not at the top of the page. So she did a really great job here.
Yeah, I like this. I would add her Facebook to this, so too.
Yes, if she has one. I'm guessing maybe she doesn't
She
have
might
one.
not have a Facebook business page. Yeah.
Right. But yes, if she does, absolutely add that here. That's a great point, Nancy.
Okay. But all
Yeah.
right. So we have to thank though Bridget for letting us use her website for an audit.
Yes. Thank you, Bridget. I hope you
Um,
found that helpful.
Oh, it was amazing. I feel like people can hear what they're supposed to do over and over and over again. But one day they hear it and they hear it in a way that makes them take action. So
Mhm.
I'm hoping that even though sometimes we, as professionals serving interior designers, repeat ourselves,
Mhm.
it's because it's that important. Like, we're not going to talk about things. I don't waste people's time. I don't just tell them to do things for the sake of doing it. I want it to be something that's going to make a difference in the growth of their business, in their profitability, in their outward facing, persona, and attract the right clients. And to me, the about page is so key.
So key. So key.
And honestly, it's not that hard to change it. And you could change it every week until you want. Like, it's really not that hard. And people get so locked up. And I'm going to give everyone perspective. Even if you had a typo in your own name, how many people actually saw it before you picked it up first? Like, so everyone stay calm. If a mistake happens, it's not like thousands of people going to your website minute by minute. It's only, you'll be lucky if someone even noticed it by the time you notice it.
Yes.
So it's okay if it's not perfect.
Yes. And along those lines, visitors to our websites are skimming and scanning.
Yes.
There's only certain personalities that are reading every single word. So
Right. Right.
keep that in mind too.
Good
And
point.
yes, everything is fixable if there's a mistake, and everything is changeable. And
Yeah.
along those lines, your website I believe websites are living, breathing creatures that need to be updated constantly. So, as your business grows and evolves, your website should grow and evolve and change too.
Yeah, your website should be involved in every strategic decision you make. If you're changing directions, you need to think of your website as well as all your social media. Should it be changing along with it in a reasonable amount of time? And yes, I agree. Websites are always morphing and changing and should be doing that. So you shouldn't just make it and leave it forever.
It's not one and done.
Not one and done. So, all right, Robin, tell everyone how to get you if they need a new website or just modification of an existing website.
Oh, sure. So my website is rdwdesignstudio.com, and you can reach out to me there. And you can also, if you'd like to, follow me on Instagram, which is RDW Design Studio. And I post a tip at least once a week on Tuesdays and sometimes more than that.
Awesome. All right, everyone, go follow Robin on Instagram. Reach out to her if you need an update on your website. She's a rock star web designer. And just don't sit with a not so good website for too long. All right. I just got off with somebody who's applying to the latest Profit Insider Academy group program I'm starting, and her website needs to be redone eventually. And I said, okay, it needs to be redone eventually. This is why making more money and charging appropriately feeds these other things you need for your business, right? All starts with charging appropriately so you can grow your business and hire someone like Robin and get a great website that attracts your proper ideal client.
Exactly.
So, all right. Thanks, Robin. I will see you next month. Thanks, everyone. Have a great Monday. And I will see you later because I'm doing a live later about copy and words and how that makes a difference on your website as well. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Nancy.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.